Hey everyone, Erin here, and I'm here today with my April wrap-up. If you have noticed, I kind of have this bad habit of posting videos and then being non-existent for like 3 or 4 months, and then posting videos and then being non-existent for 3 or 4 months. Yeah, that is not on purpose. I'm really trying to get better on posting consistently, and hopefully now that some things in my life have kind of settled down, that I will be able to finally accomplish that. I've been posting videos because I haven't been reading, and it's kind of hard to make videos if you haven't been reading. Everything in my life lately has just been changing very drastically, and a lot of new aspects of my life are just popping up. Besides that, hopefully everything else will be starting to fall into place and be perfect, and I should be uploading more consistently now. So April came around and I actually really started reading again, so I did read 5 books in April, and I read some really fantastic ones, and I'm really excited that I got back into reading and I'm feeling good about it. So the first book I read in April was The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler. This was a random book I just kind of picked up. I got it for like $1 at a used bookstore. And I just saw the cover, I thought, oh, I guess it kind of looks cool, and so I read the inside flap, and it sounded really interesting to me. If you don't know, this book is about a girl who receives her very first computer. This is set in 1996, and she gets her very first Windows computer and gets Windows 95. So cool. I remember Windows 95. Anyways, she gets this computer, and her best friend growing up, he walks over and he gives her an AOL subscription. Logs into AOL, and if you know, these computers had dial-up and it took forever. But she logs in and this tab pops up and it's called Facebook. Obviously, Facebook wasn't around in 1996. So she gets curious and she looks at it and she finds that this is a glimpse into her future. Her Facebook is set in 2007 or 8, I think, when it was made, and she can see her future. She starts poking around in her future. She doesn't really like what she sees, so she kind of debates of whether changing her future, taking it into her own hands, and picking exactly what she wants for her future. I did really enjoy this one. I just kind of had some problems with the main character. I thought she was really selfish and just kind of bland. I don't know. I just kind of had some problems with her. But I did really enjoy it. It was a very cute and fun, easy read. I think I did give this one 4 out of 5 stars, and yeah, I do recommend it. I thought it was a really good book. The second book I read in April was The Nature of Jade by Deb Coletti. This was another random one I just picked up. I had read all the books pretty much on my bookshelf, so I didn't have anything else to read, so I was just kind of going through them, maybe gonna reread a book because I was in the reading mood, and I came across this one and I was like, you know, I remember reading this one about 7 or 8 years ago, but I'm not exactly sure. And sure enough, I opened the book and out fell a bookmark, so I was only about 90 pages in it when I read it back in, gosh, it was probably 9th grade that I read this. So I decided to re-pick it up and read it. I didn't really enjoy this one. I mean, it was good. The character suffers from some major anxiety and panic attacks, which I thought the author wrote really well, and she was a really well-developed character. And if you've ever had anxiety or a panic attack, then you know, and you could probably really relate to this main character. I thought the author just did an awesome job explaining what it feels like, and it was just kind of really beautifully written around anxiety and panic attacks. I just didn't really like the love interest. I thought he was really boring and bland, and the storyline was kind of cliche, and I don't think anything really happened. Nothing happened. So besides the fact of it being well written, I didn't really enjoy it. I think I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was This Is Where It Ends by Marieke Nijkamp. Definitely did not say that right, so sorry. This book is about a school shooting, and it revolves around 4 characters, and it's told in the perspective of these 4 characters. This one has a lot of hype around BookTube right now, or did a few months ago, so I decided to pick it up. Really mixed feelings about this book. I enjoyed it. I thought the concept was really intense and a really strong, hard-hitting topic. I enjoyed the characters, thought it was a really diverse set of characters, culturally and just physically. I can't think of the right word I'm thinking of, but it was just a really diverse character group. But I just had some problems with the psychology of this book. I don't really know how to explain my feelings about it, but I just didn't really fully understand the reasoning behind the shooting, the characters. It just wasn't really explained very well. I mean, maybe I just was thinking too hard of it and thinking too much like a psychologist, I don't know. But I just had some problems with that of this book. If you've read it and you kind of have these same feelings, maybe you can kind of talk to me about it because I can't really get exactly what I mean out of it. But I did. I just felt like there was just a plot and it was just told in those characters' perspectives, but it wasn't really explained. It wasn't given really a really real reason, like a solidified reason that you would really believe someone would go and shoot up a school. I don't know. Sometimes it was just a little bit unrealistic in that aspect. But I did enjoy it. Besides that, I think I did give this one 3 out of 5 stars, maybe 4 out of 5 stars. I don't remember exactly. The next book I read was Morrow by Tarryn Fisher, and this book I absolutely loved. I thought this was such a fantastic book. I've been on a very big horror thriller kick lately, which you'll see from my book haul that I'll post in a couple days. I've come to the conclusion that I'm a very, very sick person. But I absolutely adored this book. This book is about a girl named Margot. She is 17. And she lives in this small town called Bone. This town is cursed, as she likes to call it. Once you're there, you're stuck there. It's a really poor and drug-infused town. She lives in a house with her mother, who is also cursed, as she likes to say. Her mother is just going through a lot of mental health issues, and she's very emotionally and physically, in a way, abusive to Margot. Margot has been through a lot in her life. Her mother has not spoken to her in years, besides giving her kind of demands of what to do and go pick her up some cigarettes from the grocery store. So Margot's been through a lot. She meets this boy next door named Judah, who is in a wheelchair, and they kind of grow this friendship. And they soon discover that a little 7-year-old girl who Margot knew from riding the bus with has gone missing. What Margot and Judah find out about this 7-year-old girl changes Margot, and Margot becomes this kind of vigilante, and she starts to target and kill child molesters and serial killers and rapists and all that kind of stuff, and she targets these individuals to kill them and kind of get them out of the world and cleanse this world of the awful. Margot is just such a detailed character, and it's easy to fall in love with her because she's been through so much in her life, so much abuse and so much trauma, but she's still such a strong and bubbly character, but at the same time she has this really, really dark inside. It was just absolutely fantastic. Actually, one of my favorite things about this book was the ending. It took a turn that I was like, wait, I have to go back and read a few pages and figure out what the heck just happened because I don't understand what's going on. But it was so fantastic. This book also had a lot of good psychology in it. The ending kind of let you choose. You got to pick what you believed, if you believed one of the characters or if you believed the other character, and it just kind of left it open-ended. And usually I hate when books are open-ended, but I loved how I was able to come to my own conclusion and believe what I wanted to believe. It was just so fantastic. I give this one 5 out of 5 stars. I might post a full book review on this one, but we'll see kind of where I am in the next couple of days. If my emotions kind of settle down about this. And the final book I read in April was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. It is about a young woman who is having trouble finding a job, and she gets this job as a personal care assistant for this young gentleman who is in a wheelchair, and he is a quadriplegic. That's the right word, alright? A quadriplegic, or is it the other one? Whatever, a quadriplegic, and so he is paralyzed from the shoulders down. And she becomes this personal care assistant for him. He's kind of just rude and not the nicest to her, and they kind of just built a relationship out of this, and it was just absolutely fantastic. This is being made into a movie which comes out in June, and I'm super, super excited about it. I hopped on the bandwagon for this book really, really late also, but I'm very happy I read it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I loved both the characters. I loved the plot, the twists. I thought it was really good. And usually I don't tear up or cry in books, but I actually teared up in this book. Not like full-fledged like crying, because I'm just not attuned to my emotions like that, but I did really enjoy this, and it did make me quite emotional. I did end up giving this one also 5 out of 5 stars. So the next book I read was, I don't have a good picture of the cover, but I read Too Late by Colleen Hoover. This was just her, I'm going to put this down because it's not really doing anything. The book was just one that she released, and it was a free book on Wattpad, I don't know how to say it, but it was just a free book that she released, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot different actually from her other books. It had a really different kind of aspect and topic. It was a lot more strong and hard-hitting, and kind of had some very intense storylines. If you have triggers to abuse and rape or drugs and that's not something that you like to read about, then this is not your book, because that's kind of like the sole premise of this book. I did really enjoy it. Again, it was a lot different than her normal book. So yeah, that's kind of all I'm going to say about it, because I don't want to really give away too much, because I didn't know anything about going into it, and that's kind of what made me really, really enjoy it, because I had absolutely no idea about the plot. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I did give that one 4 out of 5 stars, maybe 4.5 stars. Not 100% sure. I'd have to go back and look at Goodreads, but yes, I did really enjoy it, and I do recommend it because it's free, and who doesn't love free books? These are the 5 books that I read in April. I read a very good crop of books, and I really enjoyed all of them, and it's really gotten me back into reading because I've picked up so many wonderful books. That's all I have for today. I promise you I will not go missing again for another month. I already have 2 other videos. I have my very, very, very light favorites of 2015. I had originally recorded it in December, but I lost the footage, refound the footage, so I edited that up and I will post that very soon. And I also have a giant book haul. Like, it's giant. Wow, I cannot believe I bought this many books. So that will also be something you can look forward to in the next few days. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!